Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be carrying on with I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. So, last episode we went out to the walls, side the walls for the first time on our first expedition. That was quite fun. And I'm inclined to do something like that again, honestly. We've got very low stress. We're pretty happy. We'll just do another quick round here. I think I've already done a little trip around here just to see if there's anyone to talk to. I don't think anyone really was ready to talk to me again. Yeah, so let's sneak out again. Now, I wonder if the little question marks we didn't do last time are still there, or whether there's new ones. I don't know. I mean, there were some here before. This was where the flag was. Yeah, okay. So let's start off with this one here. We could go and speak to Uncle Tony, or whatever his name is. Oh, it's like an upside-down sheep. A large woolly blue creature is floating here, a metre off the ground. It seems to be upside down, which is causing it some distress. Its segmented legs kick uselessly in the air as it tries to right itself. This must be a float cow. The colony is working on domesticating these, though you haven't seen one close up before. Her slitted eyes look at you imploringly. She makes a helpless, lowing noise as she tries to flip over, but she can't. Okay, well, we don't have animals. Our animals is quite low. It's only 4. So I'm going to leave it. I don't want to pop the float cow. That seems mean. So let's... Will that mean it just gets down on the ground? No, let's leave it. I don't necessarily want to do that right now. Carry on round this way. I like how the seasons change the colour outside as well. That's quite nice. It's quite a pretty game. I like the art style. Right, so yes, we want to go past this one if we can. The mush trees are at their tallest in wet, and you come across a cluster of them that look ripe for harvesting. If you were older, you could probably cut them down and get some kudos for them. Give them a friendly pat. You like the mush trees. You give one a pat and are surprised when it moves under your hand. It's not the tree, though, but a camouflaged creature lying against the trunk. It's small and looks a little like an octopus or a starfish. Lots of long legs wrapped around the tree like it's giving it a hug. Very cool. Let's take this, whatever this is. A yellow flower. Okay, do another one of these. You let your mind wander as you're walking and bumble straight into a field of gelatinous blobgrass. Totally transparent, the sticky fronds are hard to see, but even harder to ignore, especially once they start glomming onto your boots and slowing you down. It's like trudging through thick mud. You stubbornly decide to keep going, paying close attention to the visible signs of this blobgrass field. And there aren't many, just an absence of other vegetation. Well, let's look for a path. Okay, so it's not too hard, this one. Let's see what we can do here. So maybe if we go... Oh. Okay, let's maybe do this, because we'll get an extra one for the gem that way. Maybe 1, 2, 3. We only need 1. So, I think we do 0, 0, 0, 5, 2. How about that then? An extra perception. Some extra stress. There it is, you can hop along from that rock to that fallen log, then climb over those old pieces of surveying equipment. You get through the villainous blobgrass. You spend a bunch of time on it though, and it takes some tricky balancing. It's tiring. Yeah, so 35 stress. That's alright, we can keep going. There's this little path up here. Ooh, it is. Okay, maybe we'll do this one. Ahead of you, the road curves right, and there's a steep hill leading off to the left. You bet there's a really great view from the top of it, but it's going to be a scramble to get up there. Let's hike. More stress. You leave your pack in some bushes at the base so you'll be lighter on your feet, then start the trek. It's tiring, and even steeper than it looked from the bottom, but some broad mushroom-capped trees provide shade. Our perception must be coming on quite well. We're getting quite a lot of that. What does it say? 25. The view from the top is spectacular. You can see all the way to the colony walls in one direction, and down to a little sawmill in the other. Then you spot it, the rock, the most perfect boulder you've ever seen, teetering right on the edge of the slope you just climbed up. It's almost as tall as you are and must weigh at least 2,000 kilos, but it's practically teetering there. You think with enough muscle you could push it over. Our toughness is probably just about enough. There comes a time in every childhood that one must take life by the horns and just push the rock. You shove it with all your might, digging your toes into the hard ground and leaning in. The rock starts to slide. And suddenly it's off with a satisfying lurch, catapulting down the hill, rolling faster and faster, crashing through bushes and... Oh damn your pack, the rock just rolled over it. Oh, I lost some kudos. And more stress. You make your way back down the hill to your bag, now completely destroyed along with all its contents. Ah, shoot. You're going to have a hard time explaining this one to your parents, and you're going to need a new pack. Okay, so we're up to 65, so unless we lose stress in one of these challenges, I think we can do 2 more before we've got to head back. Okay, guess we do this one. You pause in your tracks, hearing an ominous sound. Shoo, shoo, shoo. It keeps getting louder and louder as you move forward. You don't see anything making the noise, but it seems to be coming from all around you. Now let's bravely continue on. Bravery challenge. So we're going to hit 27. What does this yellow flower do? +1 to a card to change suit to yellow. Okay. So only 3 of these, remember. So let's do that, that. Okay. I might... I think we want to do that. Oh yeah, 2 gem cards too, that's good. So that. How's that? Super goal. Yeah, it's just alien crickets. Phew! They're so tiny, but there are millions of them. They look like little blades of grass and rub their sides against stuff to make them that shoo 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 noise. You tuck your pant legs into your boots and continue on your way. Okay. Ooh, is that the colony? That's Uncle Tonin. Okay, so we've kind of done a little loop there. Alright. Well, let's go and speak to Uncle Tonin then. You spot Uncle Tonin, sorry, Chief Surveyor Tonin that is, bumbling about preparing some automated survey equipment in a clearing. He's very cautious, jumpy even, but he's making a lot of noise. Every few minutes he'll pause to listen and check his surroundings, then go back to banging away. He shouldn't be hard to avoid if you don't want to get caught sneaking out. Well, let's sneak past him and do the challenge. Only 18 this one. Well, maybe we'll do 1. There we go. Nice and easy. Oh, I've already done. We've already won, so I guess we'll do that. That. Doesn't really matter. You sneak past Chief Surveyor Tonin easily, walking while he makes noise, and ducking down when he stops to check his surroundings. Cool, okay. Oh, got another yellow flower here. So yeah, we're on about 95, are we? Yeah, so there's another one here, but I think we're going to want to get home. Done quite well though. We've done most of the little challenges out here that I think we've found so far. So I can go in this way as well. Go home. You crawl through the big drainage pipe behind the sports ball pitch, then carefully sliding the metal grate back into the place. Behind you, you then... I guess we carefully check the coast is clear as we've been given that option. Good thing too, because Uncle Tonin is passing by on his way to the garrison. You curl up in the shadows and wait for him to leave. That was close. Pretty good. So, bravery's doing quite well as well. Haven't done a lot with creativity, most of this blue stuff, combat or animals yet. The days have been getting shorter, with only the yellow sun barely skimming the horizon. One morning you wake in the darkness and you have to check your holopalm to know what time it is. You see a holostream from Mars. Good morning to all my pals, if you can even call it morning. They've named it glow season because everything is crazy glowing out there in the dark. I'm staying the heck inside for the next month. What's the point of even going out if you can't see anything? It's going to be a long, boring month. No way, it looks cool out there. You peek out the window. The wormhole is the biggest you've ever seen it, like a massive fiery ring in the sky. The planet must be very close to it now. And out in the jungle, something new is taking place. The plants are flowering, glowing, iridescent blooms, and everything is full of life. There are strange new sounds, long hooting calls and gurgling roars. After Mars's message is a notice from the council warning everyone to stay safe inside. Tammy's dad and the other surveyors have been called back, and the gates closed for the month. There's a tension in the air, as if everyone is waiting for something. So it's going to become glow. Ooh. Quite pretty, isn't it? Maybe we'll talk to everyone as it's glow, see if anyone says anything. An enemy blinks at you in the dark.
It's so cretacular, she breathes. It's perfect for hide and seek.
I got something for you. Oh. Do I want to give them one of those? Nah. Okay, we'll probably have to rest this month. Let's talk to our mum. Solana. Your mum stops you as you walk by. What are you doing out of our quarters? It isn't safe out here. Doesn't seem very dangerous. She narrows her eyes. What you should be afraid of here is me if you don't do what I say, Solana. We don't know what's out there this time of year, so you and the other kids are going to keep your butts in the ship. You know there's no sense in arguing when she makes that face. As you walk away and are just out of earshot, you hear her mumble, Stars, it is beautiful there. Talk to Dis. Dis is staring off into the wilderness outside the gates. Feels different, he mumbles. Don't know how, just different. You ask him what he means, but he just shakes his head and stuffs his hands in his pockets. We're not going to offer him anything, but what was the challenge? Eating a worm. Bravery 20 or greater. We've only got 18. Mars isn't even outside. Yeah, okay, well we want to rest anyway because our stress is so high, so let's go do that. Yeah, we're going to relax in the lounge. It's nice to take some time off to chill after all the stress of school and work, not to mention the mental toll of just living on this unpredictable planet. Looks like you're not the only one who needs some downtime. Some of the other kids are also relaxing in the lounge. Let's approach the kids. Okay, but you do stink, you hear Mars defend herself. It's not my fault that you can't tell. Maybe your nose stopped working, but the rest of us can smell it, and... She waves her hand in front of her nose and makes a P-U gesture, then turns to you. He smells awful, right, Solana? Oh, well, we're not going to bully Dis. I think we defend him, he's our friend. Stop being so mean, Mars. You stand toe-to-toe with Mars. She glares at you, then Dis. Ugh, fine, she says defeated. I'm sorry, Dis, I'm just trying to help, but I should have said it in a nicer way. Not everyone in life is going to tell you the truth, you know. We're going to forget all the baby memories, I think, so let's get rid of that. It's daytime when the emergency siren starts up. Well, what passes for day. It's still nearly pitch black except for an eerie green twilight glow on the horizon. You look toward the gates. They're open. Wait, they shouldn't be open. Oh, more stress. The alert blares out of every speaker in the colony. It's the same one you used for hull breaches and fires, and in space it meant you were supposed to go to the nearest emergency shaft and put on a spacesuit. On Vatumna, it means to go to an assembly point and wait for instructions. The closest assembly point is the children's creche, but from the opposite direction you hear shouting and loud popping noises. Gunfire. Is the colony under attack? Ooh, let's go help fight. 5 rebellion, 20 more stress. Bloody hell. We gained a memory bravely helping to fight, which is kind of cool. And status heroic. +1 to all physical skill increases for the next 3 months. Not bad. You'll try your best to be brave and fight back. First, you dodge some helpful grown-ups who point you back to the creche. Then you head outside to get your bearings. You can hear yelling from up the stairs to command, and a commotion to the southeast, at geoponics where your parents are working. Okay, we're going to geoponics. Your parents are defending the greenhouses from a pack of knee-high creatures, which seem to have eyes glowing all over their bodies. Their oily flesh ripples with a constant, subtle motion as the individual eyes blink at one at a time, incessantly. You can't tell which end is which with these horrible things. Cal is standing nearby. Wide-eyed, he slowly picks up a shovel and moves beside you. He reluctantly holds the shovel in front of himself like a weapon. Easy, doggies, he whispers. We don't want to hurt you. Get out of here, both of you, run, your mum shouts, attracting the pack's attention. All except one animal, which moves straight towards you and Cal. Let's figure out what it wants. You look into its too many eyes and see fear. This creature is scared of you. To Cal's amazement, you crouch down to try to look less threatening and choose 2 eyes at random to look into, to communicate with. You start to reach out a hand, but the creature is trembling. Staring into its eyes has made it even more frightened than before. It pounces. Defend ourselves. Combat challenge. 27. Okay, well, we'll do blues here, shall we? Not too bad. 13 remaining. Don't really like this card. I'll try and forget it at some point. Here we go. We should be alright. There we go. So we're going to get an extra combat. You killed it, with nothing but a rake thrust deep into several of the creature's many eyes. The rest of the pack scampers off the moment it falls. You've never killed anything before. The body of the creature that was so terrifying a minute ago now looks strangely small and harmless. All of its eyes have closed for good now. Cal crouches beside it, in shock. I told you to run, Solana. Uh-oh, your mum looks furious that you put yourself in danger. She storms over and you think she's going to slap you. Then suddenly she pulls you into her arms and hugs you. She keeps rocking you and saying, my baby, over and over. It's surreal. Almost as weird as the dog things with the eyes, honestly. After 2 weeks of darkness, with the blue sun barely skimming the horizon, it begins to move higher in the sky and daytime returns. The council admits that they don't know how the gates were opened or how the creatures got in. Some of the attacking creatures were once thought to be docile. Others were species nobody had seen before. It was like something had driven them to assault the colony. At least nobody was killed. This time. Year 2 of the colony. Childhood is fleeting. The game will end when you reach age 20, so you should focus on a few skills to improve and friends to spend time with. Use the skills and friends buttons at the top left of the screen to keep track of them. Good luck. So is this a little summary of what we've done? I think so. So in our first year, we gained 61 kudos, 20 stress, 10 rebellion. Okay, not quite sure what that means. Maybe that's our sort of net gain, I would think, probably. In terms of skills, we got +1 empathy, +2 persuasion, +4 creativity, +8 bravery, +4 reasoning, 5 organising, 5 engineering, 4 biology. Did quite well with the red stuff though. 13 toughness, 19 perception, 3 combat, 5 animals. With Cal, we've gained a whole heart, half a heart with tangent, dis, and an enemy. And with Mars, we've managed to lose a heart. So we're going to age up. Right, we're pretty stressed already, honestly. But I think we'll probably do like a session in school or something. Get our book smarts up a little bit. How is everyone? An enemy has her mouth wide open to the sky, catching flakes of the weird snow that drifts from the sky.
Tangy,
She giggles.
get it? Tangy? Like tangent? That's what we used to call it, do you remember?
Okay, very funny. Right, Aldis has got something more to say. You slip through the colony gates, feeling the breeze from the mushroom forest ruffle your hair. You look around for Dis, but he's nowhere to be seen. Maybe he went to class today. Probably not. As you're about to return to the colony, you hear what sounds like crying coming from one of the expedition vehicles. You pull back the tarp that keeps it from being blanketed with fungal spores and find Dis curled up in the cabin. He wipes his eyes and turns away. Go away, he mutters. Are you okay? I'm fine, Dis sniffles. Just leave me alone. I have very low persuasion. 2. Do you want to talk about it? Why don't you go ask my sister, he mumbles. Tang is so mature. She knows everything. I'm just a sensitive little crybaby who doesn't know anything. Dis wraps his arms around his legs and hides his face in his knees. I hate her, he mutters. Everyone thinks she's so smart, but she's just a big meanie. I hate everyone here. I hate being here. I just want to be left alone. He rubs his nose on his sleeve. Except for you, I guess. Sometimes it feels like you're the only person who's ever tried to be my friend. Yeah, we have. This is our friend. Although he wouldn't speak to us for several months. Let's have a quick chat with Cal. Cal is scrubbing his hands at the water barrel, trying unsuccessfully to get all the dirt out from under his fingernails. It looks like a lost cause. Cal's hands have been dirt-stained probably since you landed here. Okay, we can't do the nature fact. What would we need? Biology 20. I mean, we've got, what, 4? Yeah. Stupid, Cal mutters. Stupid, ugh! He jerks his hands out of the water and holds them to his face, and you hear him sob. Why do they have to? It's not fair. We didn't do anything to them. He wipes his eyes and startles when he sees you. Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. He says, I was just washing my hands. Done. Well, I think we'll go and do an actual lesson, shall we? Apology up. Engineering. Creativity, persuasion. I think actually I'm going to back up out of here. Because bearing in mind this physical skill, +1 to all increases, maybe we should do a physical month. It'd be nice to get animal up, but, maybe we can get some other stuff done up. Bravery, which is actually a yellow skill. Toughness. Alright, let's play sports ball. You run into Cal and an enemy on the hill behind the garrison at a small construction site. They seem to be throwing logs? There are a bunch of them lying at the bottom of the hill.
It's a Gabertoth!
An enemy shouts to you, then grunts with the effort of lifting a 6-metre-long mush tree pole. She throws it like a javelin down the hill and sprints after it.
My best record!
She shouts and ties a piece of caution tape to the end of the pole. Your turn next, Cal says, pointing to a neatly stacked pile of construction poles behind you. From the looks of the nearby construction, they're probably destined to be a new lookout tower someday. Well, choose an average one. Solana has made a fine pole selection, Cal narrates in a haughty voice, and has lifted it onto his shoulder. Next he will approach the sprinting line and begin his run, tossing the caber before he reaches a throwing line. Lift, run, throw. As you get older, challenges can have conditions. The challenge suit determines what conditions can appear and which decks will work best. Try to collect social yellow cards if you want to win battles for social skills, etc. Oh, so what's that? 1 slot card becomes value 2. Card becomes 2. So what do we want it to be? Okay, I mean it seems like a positive one. I'm just trying to see the downside of that. Maybe there isn't one. Alright, so we want it to be like that, don't we? Okay. Card becomes 2. I guess we want the baby ones. Still a bit of ways to go. Well, let's put that there. That there. And that, and that, and that. There we go. Victorious. Toughness +2. The pole sails down the hill past all the other poles, coming to rest, sticking out of the ground.
Wow, you beat my best distance!
An enemy says when she jogs back up. Players can't beat each other in the mushroom toss, Cal corrects her. They can only beat their own high scores. But you get 3 bonus points if it sticks out of the ground like that. You play for the rest of the afternoon, adding rules and variations as you go. You don't stop until the entire stack of poles are in a jumble at the bottom of the hill and decorated festively with caution tape. It's a wonder you got away with this. There we go, some bonuses, thanks to our modifier, I think. Our friend's up with an enemy. So much has happened in the last month since the monster attack during Glow. The idea of this planet as a peaceful utopia has been shattered. The security guards are training new members and keeping close watch on the gates now. They're reinforcing the walls and even installing a few robotic turrets. In class, you have drills on what to do if the colony is attacked again. In all the excitement, you forgot today was your birthday. Your parents haven't forgotten. They wake you up early with enthusiastic shouts of "Surprise!" A Autumnan year is only a little longer than a year on Earth, so you have taken up its calendar for birthdays. Yours is in the 2nd month of quiet. Spark snow drifts slowly past your porthole window as you snuggle with your dad. Your mum climbs up too and sits on the edge of your bed. Your dad pulls a bowl of fruit from behind his back with a flourish, like a magic trick. At least you think it's a fruit? What are those? Barber fruit. Your dad grins. The foragers have been picking these just outside the walls. They might look funny, but they're tasty. Try one. So it's a 1, +1 to a card. Change suit to blue. Interesting. You take a cautious bite. The pulp is soft and tastes a bit like lemon, only more blue. I bet you can't wait to join the surveyors out there, your dad says wistfully. Who knows who else you'll find? Solana is not allowed outside the gates, your mum interrupts, her voice sharp. It's too dangerous for kids. Well, I know, but eventually, your dad says, but your mum cuts him off again. But not now, your mum replies. Not since the attack. Not with everything we know is out there now. I helped. I was a hero. Don't even start, your mum snaps. You should have been in the creche with the others, not putting yourself in danger for no reason. You don't get it. You know your mum wasn't a farmer back on Earth, she was a fighter too. She's such a hypocrite. Even still, your mum says, it's clear that everyone should know how to defend themselves if it happens again. To be clear, this includes knowing when to run away, your dad adds. Security Chief Rhett's offering self-defense lessons at the garrison, you know. Even for kids. If you're interested, you should drop in sometime. Oh, that could be good. Your mum gives you a stern look. And I know your friend Dis has been sneaking outside the walls, she says, grimly. If I catch you doing that, I'm going to put a chip in your ear. You laugh. What a good joke. Your mum doesn't laugh. What, me? Never. Yeah, you better never, your mum retorts, crossing her arms. Yoicks. Mid-quiet. So I think we can do... Let's try the defense training. Although we'll have a quick trip round all the NPCs and just see if there's any sort of dialogue things to do. Doesn't look like it. No. Okay, yeah. So let's go and try that defense training. It should be a physical thing, so again, we should get the benefits of that with our modifier that we've got on for the whole of quiet. So it's combat up, animals up, now that's good, plus friendship with an enemy, plus 15 stress. I think we can take that on. It's 80, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, we'll do defense training. You attend your first session of Security Chief Rhett's self-defense classes. It's a small class, mostly security officers and other adults. You and an enemy are the only kids. She gives you a wink and a cheesy thumbs up as you listen to Rhett rant about how everyone in the colony needs to learn self-defense.
You could be walking along thinking you're safe within the walls, and a flying animal could swoop out of the sky. Then, what would you do?
Rhett chops the air with his hand.
I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna chop that beast right in the throat. Hiya!
He points at the assembled class.
But only if you learn what I'm about to teach you, and the only way to learn is by doing. Who wants to volunteer for our demonstration?
Step forward. The security chief doesn't scare you, or so you pretend. Rhett is like the biggest adult you know, and he's so intense. You step forward and Rhett nods as he crouches down.
Okay, he says, I'm a manicore stalking you through the forest. What do you do?
Kick it in the face! Oh dear, 5 stress. You try to kick Rhett as he approaches you. He easily grabs your foot and flips you onto the mat. Ouch!
Wrong! Use your brains, Alana. The first thing you do is call for help. Then you run.
Rhett grabs your forearm and hauls you off the ground.
Only engage with the enemy when there's no other alternative. No one walks away from a fight without getting hurt, so the first rule of self-defense is not to put yourself in situations where you need to fight.
An enemy still thinks you're cool for acting tough. She gives you another thumbs up.
Once you've learned situational awareness, we'll move on to hand-to-hand self-defense, drawing on a variety of martial arts. Only when I'm confident that you're ready will we advance to weapons.
There aren't that many weapons in the colony, mostly stun gloves and batons, with a few plas rifles. You hope you don't have to use them, but it would be good to know how. Alright, the fruit went up there. Alright, so we've got a random card locked in one slot. Which is rubbish, because it's going to bring down our other cards. Okay, well I guess we put that and that there. Use 3 there and 2 there. We still win with a super goal, so that's good. Five combat, 2 animals. Not bad. We're at 100 stress now though, I think, aren't we? I wonder what happens then. We're going to need to rest, so what's this multiplier? Stressed out. You're too stressed out, need to take the month off. Can't do anything but relax. Well, okay, well that's not the... To be honest, that's not like the worst that could happen, is it? So I think we would do that anyway, even if it was like, say, at 95. Toughness looking good. Perception's really good at the moment. Combat's come up a bit. And animals. We're kind of being this physical character now. I kind of perceived us at the beginning of being like a sort of more logical, intellectual type, but we're sort of doing the opposite at the moment. It seems a lot easier to get some of the red stats than the other colours at this point in the game. So let's relax for the next month. Nothing much happens this month. You spend most of the time spacing out to whatever's on your here speak, occasionally nodding hello to the other colonists passing through. You binge a few seasons of a show you've been meaning to rewatch. Okay, let's get rid of another baby memory. Okay, so stress is back at 0, which is good. Lost our toughness perk, so that's fine. Let's have a little walk around between the guys again. Okay, so what should we do? Maybe we'll just go to like class. Maybe we'll do an engineering class. I would quite like biology though. During reasoning. Persuasion could be good. I'll do engineering. You're bringing supplies to medbay when you see something unusual. Tangent, curled up on a bench, her head pillowed on a rolled-up lab coat. She's fast asleep. You stop and stare. You never see Tang sleeping. She's always so busy. You're surprised she even has a time to nap. You turn to leave her in peace when you bump into an enemy.
Whoa! An enemy says, she hardly ever sleeps. Just like a couple of hours a night. Is she thick or something?
You look back at Tangent, snoozing peacefully. Learned Tangent augment.
I'm so jealous of her genetic enhancement,
An enemy says, rubbing at one of the scales sprouting on her jawline.
she hardly ever needs to sleep at all. She's probably stayed up all night studying for this morning's history test.
There was a test?
Meh, I flunked it.
An enemy says matter-of-factly.
No biggie though. If I didn't have to sleep, I'd probably play games instead of studying anyway.
Tang's holopalm beeps a soft alarm. She sits up and stretches, looking totally refreshed and alert. She sees you watching her and looks annoyed. Just a power nap, she says. No reason to gawk. Get to work. So, goal 16. 5 kudos if total equals goal. I haven't even learned how to spend the kudos I've got yet. I mean, I'm guessing we can get it there, though. So what is this? 6, 9, plus 4 is 13. So we do need a bit of a bonus. How about 1, 2, 2, 3, 5. What does that add up to? That's 21. That's not enough. Oh, or is it? No, it's not. Alright, well, let's just try and beat it with our super goal, I think. There we go. For engineering's cool. Nice. And we got 6 kudos anyway. Alright. Stress is only 15. Tempted to go out for another expedition if we can. Also, animals out. I'd like to get animals up, but I don't really know how. Alright, we're going to go out again. Oh, looks like a little bunch of flowers here. Is that something to pick up? No. Oop. Okay, so these kind of refresh each year then, it looks like. The muck hides interesting bugs and other treasure. For those willing to put their hands down the right holes. Are you? Peek inside that hole. Looks dark. Look closer. You stuck your hands down enough holes to know this one seems occupied. Put a hand in there. What's the worst that could happen? You shove your hand in the hole and rummage around. Ow. You got bit right through your ding-dang glove. Whatever was in there, it's not happy with you. Curiosity is not always rewarded. Oh, is that creature again? You spot a group of hop-eyes playing in a clearing. They let you get pretty close to watch them chatter to each other and rub noses. They're all friends, just like people. They hop away if you get too close. Goal 27. It's a 3-rounder. I'd like to forget that at some point. Get rid of the rubbish cards, maybe. Okay, how about 2, 3, 5, 2. Zero, 1, 2, 2, 2. Not bad. Got 1 animals. The Hopeyes are wary at first, but you crouch down and copy their cute little squeaking noises. You bounce towards them and amazingly, they don't hop away. You play with the Hopeyes for a few minutes before moving on. Cute little guys. Now we had this one before. I still don't have enough animal. I don't really want to pop it though, so I'm gonna leave it. We can head in a different direction, so. As you come to a bend in the path, movement catches the corner of your eye. There's something up on top of a nearby mushroom-capped tree. You can't quite tell what it is, but is that a person? Someone is peering over the edge of the mushroom cap above you. You can't quite see their eyes, but you get an impression of long, dark hair and an enormous, mocking grin.
I wouldn't go that way if I were you,
they warn playfully. They have a deep musical accent you don't recognise. A stranger? That's impossible. You're the only people around for thousands of light years, and what the heck is he doing out here? You feel a chill go up your spine. Ignore him and move on quickly. No, you've met everybody on the stratospheric. That must have been some kind of animal. One that looks like a person, and sounds like a person. Or maybe it's Dis playing tricks with his voice. Or maybe you're seeing things. You round the bend and regret it immediately as something long and thin slaps your face. There's another whack across your back, and as you spin to face your attacker, whap whap, 2 slaps to your shins send you reeling. Whoever's attacking you can't see it. You fall to the ground and cover your head with your arms in defence. Nothing happens, just silence. When you look up, there's no attacker, but the plants all around you are flattened to the ground. They're long purple reeds with knobby bumps at their bases. As you watch, the reeds slowly start to bend back upright. You poke one experimentally and it slaps back down to the ground, stinging your hand. Attacked by grass. How embarrassing. You decide to call it slapgrass. So we're at 80 stress, so I think we can do one more. So can we get up? No, we can't get up there. I want to leave the pop cow for now. Oh, who's this? You spot Surveyor Utopia on the path. It looks like she's setting up some kind of equipment. If she catches you sneaking out, you'll be in trouble for sure. You stumble on a root, and Utopia's head flies up. She scans the trees in your direction. Yeah, we could watch what she's doing. She's setting up a hive for photographic drones. She unpacks a pyramid-shaped box and stands back. When she activates it, hundreds of tiny flying robots shoot out to the top and spread over the colony, taking photographs and readings from everything in the area. In a few hours they'll return and automatically combine their data of the area and everything in it. You make a note to stay out of sight while they're active. You don't want to get caught. Alright, we're pretty maxed out for stress now, so I think we head back. That's good. So we'll try and get out once a month maybe, or once a season I should say. And then hopefully by the end of the year we've done everything. Oops. You're finishing breakfast in the common area when Marzipan struts in. Look at you eating cereal, she says, turning her nose up at you. I'll bet you don't even know what day it is today. Your birthday?
No, you dummy, she exclaimed, swatting her shoulder. My birthday's in the first month of wet season. You better remember that. Learned Mars's birthday. Today, she announces to the room, is St. Valentine's Day. Dis and Cal wander over to hear more. Back on Earth, Mars explains, it was a day when everybody had to go give their best friend a gift, especially sweets. And then you put the sweets under your pillow, and it makes you dream about who you're going to marry. And there are decorations of hearts and arrows and pigs. Cal laughs. Pigs? We don't even have pigs here. Before Mars can answer, Dis snorts. This is dumb. Marzipan just made it up to get free candy. He rolls his eyes and walks away. As he leaves, Mars shouts at his back, well, nobody was going to pick you anyway. You stink. I know who my best friend will be. Mars bats her eyes jokingly. Oh, really? Who could it be? She asks playfully. I'm going to tell all the other kids about it, Mars says. So you go around and find your best friend and give them a gift. She points her finger at you. Make sure you do it by the end of the day or it doesn't count. And if too many people want to be my best friend, she adds, I'll hold tryouts for the position. It's only fair. She tosses her hair over her shoulder and laughs. Alright, new perk. Perception level 1. Highlight collectibles. Oh, all collectibles glow. Cool. I don't think we've missed anything, but even so, that'll be good. So we've got to go and give it to our best friend. I quite like... Oh, what's this? A bunch of medicinal roots. Who actually is my best friend? I think it's probably Cal. No, it's actually Dis. It's a bunch of people we've not met yet. I guess we'll give it to Dis. You find Dis watching the jungle through the gap in the fence, kicking the dirt with his toe. He's quiet. He's quiet when you walk up. He must be in one of his moods. Watch with him. You sit and watch the jungle with him for a while. You ask if he sneaks out there often. Dis nods quietly. A few times, yeah. There's a way through the garrison building. You both sit in silence again for a long while until he breaks it by saying, it's really nice out there. Want to be best friends to annoy Mars? You explain that of course you aren't taking it seriously, you just think it would be funny. He looks at you and shrugs. Sure, I guess, he says. Then he looks back out at the forest. It is kind of funny. It's a stupid thing anyway. Damn straight. Okay. Oh no, our stress didn't come down. Why didn't we lose our stress when we rested for a month? Mars is in a huff because you didn't pick her for Valentine's Day? Seems like nobody picked her. Oh dear, she really hates us. She crosses her arms and scowls at you. I can't believe you chose Dis over me. Whatever, Mars mutters, tossing her hair. I'm just too mature for kids my age. The older kids get me, even if you don't. I don't know why we didn't de-stress that month. That's a bit annoying. I'll have to go back and do it again. Did we relax in the lounge? Maybe we didn't. I can't remember. Maybe we didn't. You look around the lounge. Some friends are here. Who do you hang out with? I like Cal. I like an enemy as well. We like Cal. Cal is practicing hoverboard moves in a corner of the lounge. Because the board never touches the ground, the adults can't really complain, and this way he has pillows to land in. He's working hard and trying, and failing, flip after flip, but hasn't even broken a sweat. He waves you over. Hey, Solana, he says cheerfully. Do you want to practice with me? Maybe I'll make him scouse. You practice with Cal for about an hour. It's exhausting. By the end you're sweaty and a little sore, but you feel good. You promise him you'll come back all this month and keep him company. There we go, we're relaxed. I'm going to forget this card. I don't like this card. Or do I dislike this card? I'm a little unsure. Total gets -1 during physical challenges. I think it's a debuff for us, isn't it? So I'm going to forget that card. Right. Okay. Let's go around, have a little walk around the various folks. Ah, Dad's got something to say. Dust is such a dry, hot season. Both suns are high in the sky, baking the usually lush Vertumnan jungle. If there's a breeze, it's warm, and you guessed it, dusty. Your parents are up every day before dawn, which comes far too early for your liking. They're usually gone by the time you wake up and home after you're asleep, so you have to visit them at work if you want to see them. Good morning, Gooseberry. Your dad greets you cheerily. Have you come to see the harvest? Your mum and I are gathering crops from the actual Vertumnan dirt this week. Sure, that sounds neat. He shows you around the rows of corn and beans from Earth. They all look a little yellow and scraggly, not what you'd expected, but your dad enthusiastically points out the vegetables ready to harvest. Don't forget, he tells you, the Vertumnalia Festival's coming up. There'll be a talent show and a science fair. I'm sure you're eager to participate, Solana. Sure. So what do I want to do? Honestly, our persuasion could do with a bit of a boost. It's very low. Maybe we'll do a life sciences month. Oh, no, this is the lounge. We don't want to do that. Or is it humanities? No, it's humanities, isn't it? There's some sort of emergency in engineering that requires Hal's attention, so today's class will be taught by the ship's artificial intelligence, Congruence. Congruence. I can't remember what voice I gave her. Good morning, Congruence chaps. Today we're going to talk about the formation of the Vertumna Group and our decision to leave Earth. It's a very exciting topic and we think you're finally ready to hear about it. Let's dig in. You know how it started. Economic and environmental instability, coupled with deeply entrenched hatreds, had thrown the Earth into chaos. And you know how it ended. In that chaos, your parents formed the Vertumna Group with a plan to leave Earth. 20 years later, they and their star-born children, you, slid through a wormhole and ended up here on a planet you called Vertumna. But there's so much you don't know. Congruence pulls up a holoprojection of an unassuming human with a firm maternal gaze. This is Planktonic Ascendant's Wang Botha Schmidt, she says, the spiritual leader of the Vertumna movement. They were what people called a speculative fiction writer. The Vertumna project proved that their writing, though speculative, was far from fiction. Wait, a sci-fi author? Yes, Congruence tells you. Their best-selling novel, Life Beyond the Einstein-Rosen Bridge, told the story of a fictional utopia on the other side of a real-life anomaly at the edge of the solar system. Scientists have been investigating the wormhole for years, but it took a poet to imagine we could travel through it. Wang Botha Schmidt's writings centered around the idea of humanity building a technological utopia on another world. Translated to 100 languages, this was a compelling idea to people at the time, so fans started connecting in vert space. Far from just a book club, these people bonded over mutual aid amid the increasing unrest in their own countries. They were committed to Wang Botha Schmidt's idea of a future where everyone is treated equally without prejudice. But they realized it couldn't be done online, Congruence tells you. Though committed to social justice, the group saw the impossibility of forming a truly egalitarian society while also reckoning with their own implicit biases and the diverse contexts of their real lives. They realized that this was the work of generations, and the solutions must look to the future, as Wang Botha Schmidt did. So they got together. The image of a squat concrete building with a rooftop garden replaces Wang Botha Schmidt. Around the edges of the classroom, the holoprojector gives the impression of towering walls topped with razor wire. The first Vertumna colony, Congruence tells you. 400 people volunteered to sacrifice their own cultural beliefs to walk through these doors, agreeing to come up with a new way of life that could be taught to their children. Babies were conceived from egg and sperm donors chosen by lottery and raised communally, like you as the second generation of the Vertumna group. Those babies were your parents. So they mixed their DNA. The holoprojection now shows the compound under siege. As more colonies were founded, word got out about the Vertumna group's social experiments, Congruence continues. Assimilationism was an unpopular ideology at the time, because it had been used to commit terrible genocides on Earth. This, combined with the panic that the Vertumna group was destroying the family unit, or raising an army of gene-tech super soldiers, brought the colony under attack from all sides. Everyone fears what they don't understand. The image of the burning compound is replaced with the stratospheric on a launch pad. Luckily, the next phase of the Vertumna project was ready to launch. 100 colonists were selected to leave Earth on a colony ship, to seed a far-flung corner of the universe with a new human culture. She smiles. The ultimate goal of the Vertumna group was you children, she says. A generation raised completely unburdened by troubles that plagued Earth. Isn't that lovely? So no one on Earth was like us. The Vertumna group members have a unique culture, Congruence replies, but it's formed from a combination of many heritages from Earth. Even the language you speak, Esperanto, was invented to bring people together. And don't worry, Congruence exclaims, you brought your best heritage with you, you're humans. How did they build the ship? Orbital voyages were a hobby for the ultra-rich in an earlier century, so there were several relics to be found in museums, Congruence replies. The difficulty was not in acquiring a ship, but in making it spaceworthy, and in the logistics of the launch itself. The group crowdsourced enough funding to purchase and repair the ship. Congruence smiles. As for logistics, well, you're speaking to the solution right now. I was acquired by connected group members, along with the gene tech that created you and your parents. The Stratospheric was the first manned vessel to navigate the wormhole at the edge of the solar system. Given the state Earth was in when it left, it may have been the last. What was Earth like when they left? Terrible! Congruence shows you some dire demographics. The institutions that had given people the illusion of safety were being torn down, and wars were rampant, both resource-based and ideological. Large parts of Earth were rendered uninhabitable by climate change, pollution, and nuclear war, especially the critical food-growing regions of the world. The Vertumna group weren't the only ones trying to escape Earth, but as far as we know, we are the only success. Your head is so stuffed with ideas it might burst. Oh, got a little card there. Professor Hall and your parents never mentioned this stuff before. They waited to tell you because they wanted you to grow up without feeling different based on your genetic makeup or family history. It's hard to imagine having a different culture than your neighbours. You wonder what it's like. Everyone celebrating different holidays, eating different food, speaking different languages. Are you missing out, or are you better without it, like the original colonists believed? It's hard to say, as the decision was made for you long before you were born. All you can do is be the best Solana you can be. Okay. Well, I think we put that there. I guess we do that. And that and that. It's time once more for Vertumnalia. The mood of the colony has been muted this year, ever since the attack during Glow. Though everything is still cheerfully decorated, and the feast table is still heavy with food, mostly soy rations, this Vertumnalia just feels different, in a way you can't describe. The colonists gather in the square for the Governor Udicot's speech. What a year Vertumna has given us, the Governor begins in her weedy voice. I stand before you so proud of everything the colony has accomplished in such a short time. I've always hoped that we would bring with us the best facets of humanity, cooperation, resilience and creativity, and the elements of this year have given me no reason to doubt my convictions. These creatures were unexpected, but I urge everyone to consider what it means for life here. If Vertumna can sustain megafauna, then that means conditions are good for us as well. Our friends in geoponics are already working on the logistics of domesticating the wildlife. Your dad, as second cultivator, stands and gives us a sheepish wave to the crowd. There is a smattering of applause. Mars elbows you. Hey, she whispers, did you hear? My dad says Udicot's going to announce the depot's open to the public. You shoot her a questioning look and she rolls her eyes. You know, shopping? Somewhere to spend all the kudos we've been saving up? There's going to be candy and toys and makeup and nice-smelling soap, not the boring kind in the communal showers. You know the concept of shopping. They do it in the holovids from Earth, especially the one Mars likes. But you've never actually done it. The colony provides everything you need, but it would be nice to buy yourself a treat. My dad's given me an allowance, Mars says, shooting you a look of pity. It's too bad your parents make you work for yours. You and Mars tune back into the speeches just as Udicot, as predicted, announces the opening of the general store at the depot. Mars gives you a knowing look as she claps. Udicot gestures for the council members to stand. Finally, the council remains unchanged from last year. We are, as always, proud to serve you and the colony as your government. The music starts up as Governor Udicott finishes. "Thank you all for your hard work and your perseverance this year," she says over the ruckus. "Together, we build the future." The crowd disperses and sets up for the annual Vertumnalia Games. Just like last year, there's a talent show, a science fair, and bot wrestling, now with an obstacle course. Which one do you want to participate in this year? Bot wrestling sounds fun. Let's do that. An enemy and Cal join you for the bot wrestling biathlon. So called because Com has added a hologram obstacle course this year. Competitors will each get a turn to wrestle a hydraulic bot, trying to keep it closed for as long as possible. This time, though, all competitors will first have to sprint across the festival grounds, dodging and leaping over obstacles. Each obstacle triggered will subtract from your time. Start the biathlon. A hard challenge. Okay, card gets +1. Not our strongest round. Lots of 2s. Alright, 22 needed on this one. Oh, this one's really annoying. I'm gonna get rid of that as soon as we can. Is that? I was hoping that would be a 3 now. Oh, no matter what I do, it's gonna... Ugh. Alright. It's not enough. So what can I do? How about if I... No, because then it won't be blue. I mean, it won't be a 3. I've got quite a few of these. Maybe I just add one of these to each of these cards now. There we go, that's a win. Wow, look at you go, you do it! You didn't expect the hologram obstacles to move. The last one dances around and gets in your way when you get close, but your reflexes are fast enough to dodge it. Com hoots and hollers proudly at you when you absolutely destroy the competition. Even an enemy has to begrudgingly accept you beat her fair and square. She shakes your hand and tells you she'll win for sure next year. Ah, minus 50 stress. Good, good. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. Mars organises a water fight that takes over the whole colony, even the adults. It brightens everyone's spirits, even in the thick heat of dust. You end up on top of the western wall with Dis, launching water-filled poof shrooms down on an unsuspecting enemy in the sports ball court below. The walls seem like a neat place to hang out and relax, much quieter than the lounge if you're looking for some solitude. Okay, so I think we're going to leave it there for now. Things are progressing quite well in the colony. No deaths so far this year since the last episode, or was it the episode before? I forget which. Probably the first one. So, yeah, well, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then please do hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you think about the game and this playthrough. That'd be awesome. And in the meantime, I hope to see you again for more I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Bye for now.